This is the Brotherhood. Real talk, real growth, real connections for anyone ready to own their truth and heal their wounds. Whether you identify as a man, woman, or somewhere in between, this is a space to get honest, be vulnerable, and build strength together. Welcome back. I'm your host, Raul Piguero, and today I have a special guest on board with me. And this person, it's not like the last few guests that I had on. We go way back. I'm talking about teen days, like super way back. And before I get into introducing who this person is, I love to share some context for people to know, how I know this brother. And I'm about to share some things that he's never heard from me before. But let me get right into it. So I remember back in the days, shout out to my cousin Rudy, because he's the reason why I know this brother. I can think back, maybe I was probably 16, 17 years old maybe. And then I remember my cousin inviting us to the block. We went to that block. We were the type of dudes that I didn't really go to different blocks like that. But obviously he's my cousin, so he's not going to put us in any danger. So I remember going to the block. I remember meeting all the rest of the guys. This person came a little bit later on, but not to mention any names, the brother that had actually said this lives out in Orlando, super successful. He definitely know who he is when he hear this. And I remember him saying, we were in a little circle just chilling. I remember him saying, man, I viene este tigre to start singing and dancing. And I didn't know who he was talking about yet. So, and I don't even know if the guest actually remembers this. So he comes down, he's walking, taking his little cruise. He's already in choreography mode while he's walking to us. And he starts singing and he starts telling us about this new song. And then he starts pop locking and all this. And I'm like, man. And now when I think about it, this is where the part he doesn't know about is, for a while, I've been somebody that's lived under a mask. And I remember that back then, thinking now, a part of me was envious of how free this brother was, how he just didn't care what anybody thinks about him, right? So before I introduced him, let me just read what I got for y'all before I say who he is, right? So he's not only a dancer, singer, rapper, entrepreneur, but more than that, he's someone who allows himself to live free. From breakdancing on the block to writing music straight from the soul, he's never been afraid to express who he is. And truthfully, a part of me used to envy that freedom, because back then I was still hiding behind the mask, afraid to show the world who I really was. But watching him planted a seed that would one day grow into who I am now. So today, we're diving into what it means to live unapologetically free, to express yourself without fear, and stand firm in your authenticity as a man. My brothers, welcome my brother, Willie Caba.
Hey, yo, man, you trying to make me emotional early on. My man giving me my flowers I feel like I'm in Jimmy Fallon. Yo, that was an incredible intro. Jimmy Fallon,
Bro,
sorry, that was great, man.
I'm telling you, man, I've never expressed that to you, man, how your light back then, when we didn't know what we know now, when we connect the dots backwards, we can say, man, this dude played a big role in who I am today, and he doesn't even know that, right? That's where this came from. That's where the invitation came to put you on the, to be my next guest, because I was, in my moments journaling and asking myself the questions that a lot of men don't like to ask themselves, who are you? Right? So when I started to write down, your name came up, and I remember this back in the days, bro, 16, 17 years old. I remember Willie coming out, dancing, not caring what anybody has to say. And for me, seeing that was like, damn, this is inspiring. This dude doesn't care. You get what I'm saying? And I want that. I want that freedom, right? I want that freedom. So yeah, my brother, here we are.
Wow. I'm honored. I'm honored to be a guest in your podcast, because we talk every so often and you take a lot of pride in this. So I'm honored, man. I'm honored.
Thank you, man. Thank you. So look, we're going to cut right to the chase, right?
Mm-hmm.
right? I always send my guests the outline of things, and a lot of times they don't get to read it, which is perfect, right? Because they allow us to flow even more in conversation, right? I
Mm-hmm.
don't like script. I don't want to be. I don't want you to be scripted. That's not the reason why I send the outline, but I'd rather it not be scripted than anything else. Because at the end of the day, the podcast is about real connections and real talks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to warm up, right, Willis, when you think back, when you think back to those days on the block, what do you remember most about who we were and the energy of that time, like back in the days? Memories, music, brotherhood, chilling.
Yo, it was fun times, man. Fun times without a care, no worries. Actually, no judgment neither, even though we cracked jokes, but it was fun, man. All we did was wasted time. And it was good enough. And we didn't care. It was just get dressed, go to the block, and stay there for hours. Joke,
Right.
laugh, go. By the time we was hitting already like 18, like 19, we was already drinking nutcrackers. Like, it was just about being
Word.
fly. It was being fly. It was almost like kind of like learning who we were in our own time while being in this little bubble of 168 in Sheridan. You know what I
Word.
mean? And
Word.
and the time we got to flourish who we were from the jokes that we had or what when we go out to like a party or to the club or whatever, that's like the moment to show off whatever you've been talking about all week. Whether it's like, yo, I'm gonna get these sneakers, I'm rocking like this, or yo, when I hear this song, I'm gonna dance like this or whatever. Oh, I heard that girl going, or I'm gonna bag her, I'm gonna talk to her like this. That's all we did, man. So the only word I could think about was fun, man. It was
That's
just fun.
awesome.
I
I
I, I
agree.
never have bad memories of the block ever at all.
Yeah. I remember we gelled right away because we were both one of those type of dudes that like I'm in my element when I'm dancing. We go out club and I'm dancing. You put on some bachata merengue, I'm dancing. You on
Mm-hmm.
the other hand, you on another level of dancing. Like you ain't care. You will break down pop block and all that in front of everybody. You ain't give a heck. But we connected because once the merengue and bachata was on, we weren't afraid to pull out a joint and just start dancing with
Yeah.
them,
Nah, definitely.
and definitely agree with just the fun time because in those times, you're so young, you don't think about consequences of anything,
Mm-mm.
right?
Nope.
For us, it was like we chilling in the block. We know everybody here. We got each other's back. Some shit pops off. We know we got each other's back. It don't even matter,
Correct.
right? So I agree, man. Just fun. Fun is a great word to put it into perspective. Because even when I can remember, even when we had like when ninjas in the block had
Mm-hmm.
even brawls, like you didn't have to worry about knives and none of that. Dudes just fought with their fist, and
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
And that was fun in itself, right? So yeah, man, I agree, man. Fun is definitely it. All right, so
100%.
when did you first realize this wasn't just something you did for fun? That was part of who you are, like the dancing and the music and all.
I think when I got acclimated, I guess, the best of both worlds at one time. And what I mean by that is in I've been dancing all my life, like, and I've been trying to like dance professionally since 16. So I will always say my
Okay.
career started at 16. But from 16 to 19, I became aware of like the hottest dance crew in New York City. They were called the Amount Boys. Shout out to all the Amount Boys. There's a lot of them. But I was like, man, I'm a fan of these guys. These guys are dancing. They're literally getting invited just to dance at 106 in Park. And back in our day, 106 in Park was the big deal.
Right.
So
It was
I'm like,
pop. It was
wow,
popping.
these guys are so good. Are they getting invited to 106 to just dance? Like they were like the crew to do a dance tribute to whoever the artist is. And I remember one specific episode, they did a tribute to Janet Jackson. And it was a song called All For You. And when they finished it, Janet Jackson noticed one of the guys that was dancing. Shout out to Aunt Boogie. And she was like, don't I know you? And he was like, yeah. And then she was like, oh, yeah, oh my God. And then she hugged him. And I was just there, like, mesmerized, like, yo, I want this, yo. Why does Janet Jackson know him and he don't need a dancer? I was like, nah, I got to get involved with this. So going back to what I mean about the best of both worlds, at the same time, I'm a super fan of Ryan Leslie because
I remember
I
that.
I think Cassie came out and like I don't remember what year she came out, but I found Ryan Leslie on YouTube making beats. Everybody knows him from making Addiction, but he was making songs like way before that. So I was already a fan downloading his music on like LimeWire from like '06 and like crazy. So then fast forward to a year later, I'm already a super fan of them, my boys. And I'm a super fan of Ryan Leslie. And I will never forget this. I went shopping in December. First off, it was around December, I think. I turn on YouTube and I see Ryan Leslie, and he's like, "Yo, I'm doing the Ryan Leslie Dance Project." And after I'm done talking, I'm gonna show you the audition dance clip that you guys need to memorize, the choreography, and it's gonna be choreographed by Boogie and the Mountain Boys. So I was like, wait, hold on,
Wow,
wait, wait."
talk about freaking synchronicity and signs.
Correct. I was like, no, this is impossible. Ryan Leslie, a Mountain Boy. So I learned that routine to my best ability. Unlike today, if you didn't remember or write it down, you was like gonna forget. Like
Right.
even down to phone numbers. I didn't like people didn't even remember phone numbers no more. Why? It's already in your phone. So you didn't even have to memorize phone numbers. So I remember with the Saturday, the audition. I believe it was like December 17 of 2007. I could be wrong, but if you had fact check that, it was around that weekend, those numbers, 17, 16, 18. It was a Saturday. So I'm at 34th Street in Macy's with my mother. And then it dawned on me. I'm like, wait, hold on. And I looked at the time. I was like, yo, I gotta go to an audition. Luckily, the audition studio was a very popular dance studio, was not that far. It was probably like 3 blocks away. But I was like, oh, I gotta leave now to get there on time. And I'm like, yo, mommy, I gotta leave. So my mother was like, hey, it wasn't like Ubers. So my mother, and we went ham on shopping. So my mother's like, oh no, toma, take yours. So I had like 2 bags in each hand. And that's exactly how I went to the audition. With jeans, I had on the orange and gray Air Max 95. I had a Scully on just like
Classic.
this and a gray shirt with orange trying to match. And I was like, wow. As soon as I got there, everybody there was with sweats, sweatshirts, dancing sneakers, like just ready to like, yeah, I'm here. And I was like, well, it is what it is. So I say all of that to say that that was the moment when I knew this dancing thing might be bigger than what I think it is for me because I didn't, it was like I don't know, God and the universe was like testing my patience, right? And I did the audition. They didn't pick me. They didn't call my name. They're calling everybody Raul, Mike. And I was like, oh, wow, they didn't call me. And all right, yo, guys, thank you guys for coming. Get home safe. God bless. If y'all want, y'all can stay at the other room to catch a breath, but y'all can't be there too long. Once you're ready to leave, leave. So now I'm in the other room with all the rest of the bums, and I'm just there sweating. And I was like, wow, I'm a bum right now. Like, wow, I'm sweating. And I'm the only one there with Macy's bag. Out of nowhere, the lead choreographer, Am Boogie, he comes back because he's a dancer. So I guess he felt like some of the sadness from some of us, right? So he came back, and this is him being sporadically like random. And he walks in the room and he goes, "You know what, guys? Anybody that thinks they can freestyle better than me, I'm gonna do an audition right now. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to catch our breath." So I'm like, "Oh, I'm going in here. Like
There goes that confidence. Let's get it.
yeah." I was like, "I'm going in here. I got to make this dance show." Yo, he looked at me. I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, I was very elite at doing my little dance slow motion vibe. That was
For
my
sure.
thing.
For
And
sure.
I pulled that off and I did my little slow motion walk body. There was like, oh yeah, sign, go sign your name right there. So I was like, good, I made it. I only got one piece. I'm going to be part of the freestyle section, but I ended up being in like 4 or 5 pieces,
Okay.
and I became like a distinctive prime principal dancer in the show. And that wasn't even the plan. Like that wasn't even thought of. And in that show, that's when I knew I know this is gonna change my life. And it did, bro. That was the that was the moment I was like, oh nah, this is it. This is when I was like, I don't even care to dance at the party. I'm gonna still dance at the party, but that's not that's like the ceiling of it. That's not the cap. Cause back then it would be like, ooh, we got a party tomorrow, or I can't wait. Cause I know Raul's gonna be there. They're gonna hype me up, and I'm gonna kill everybody. And that was it. But after that moment, I didn't even care for parties. I was like, yeah, this is cool, but nah, I'm on a different stratosphere now, man. My goals has shifted, and my purpose with dancing has shifted, and it was all because of that moment. Yep, that changed everything.
I applaud you because at that age to know, right? No, like all that mattered was you knowing that.
Mm-hmm.
At that age, with all the distractions that you can face, you decided to still go for what you wanted, regardless of anything. And I applaud you for that because, bro, there's not too many 16-year-olds back in the days when we grew up that will take that serious, right? Oh, I'm going to this thing and that's it. Whatever happens, happens. It's like, for me, it's like the only thing that people would take serious is baseball or basketball, sports, football.
Mm-hmm.
But dancing, singing, like a dude from the block, from the hood, nah. Which goes back to what I said, that it's almost like I envy that from you because here you were, a kid just like me from the hood, right? Style and fashion, but didn't portray a fakeness. You always kept it real to who you were. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
to hear you say and speak on that now is like, what? Like, you guys don't understand. Like, at that age, to not be distracted from everything, you could be from the hooky parties, from the joints, from the
Mm.
parties, from the house parties, from this and that, to stay
Very
focused
true.
on what you knew you wanted, bro. That's awesome, man. That's
Yeah, I
fucking
appreciate
fire.
that, man. Thank you,
That's
man.
fucking fire.
I definitely was on tunnel vision.
And you also was the one that put me on to Ryan Leslie because I didn't know too much about Ryan. And I remember you had said, yo, check this video out of the instrumental of a famous song he has. And I was amazed on how this dude broke down making the instrumental and producing and all
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't know if it was Addicted, but I can't remember but it was an instrumental he has on YouTube, bro. And I was like, whoa, this is fire. Like this.
Yeah,
But you put me on to Ryan. You put me on to Ryan, bro. You put me on to Ryan, man.
that's crazy.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about faith and authenticity, right? So one thing I've always respected about you is that you never cared what people thought, right? You believed in yourself before anyone else did, which is a great quality to have. Where do you think that confidence came from?
I think it came from the women in my life that raised me, which
Mm,
was my grandmother, my 2 aunts, and my mother. My stepfather came later in the picture. And then of course, my biological father was not around. And I think a little bit of each of these women is what made me kind of like live life without caring what people think. It could be from my mother getting her hair done in a certain way, and maybe my aunt criticizing her for it. And my mom was like, I don't care. This is what I want to do. It's like
mm,
each one of them had that in them, you know? You
right.
know, my grandmother, oh my God, you're going to cook this? Yep, that's what I want to eat. And I used to just like be fascinated, like with all my aunts and my mother and my grandmother, like not caring what anyone thinks. They're gonna do what they want to do no matter what. It was like that was part of their DNA, and that's all you seen growing up. So naturally, that kind of made me be like, yeah, me too. Like it was just like second nature. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing too. Like it's funny, man. Like it's funny that you're talking about this and talking about like not caring. Over the weekend, I was this past weekend I was visiting some close friends of mine in Boston. One of my good friends, he just he came out of prison. He did a little time, and we kind of like went out there to celebrate. And we all with the fellas and stuff. And two of my best friends there, they used to do music. back in the day. They don't really do music as much. And they was talking about like, Will's the best dancer I ever knew. And then one of them I went to junior high school with him. And it's like, wow, the stuff that he remembered that I was doing in junior high school, it was blowing me away. Like, I was like, what? What is he? And he was like, yo, I remember Will, he came through one day to school and he had he had some gloves and it was cut off like Cisco. And he was like, he was dancing, he was acting like Cisco the whole day, like singing the thong song and like doing the whole choreography. And I was just there like, yo, well, this dude is dedicated. And I was like, shit, like I did do that. Like even in junior high school. So you're like reminding me of that when that just happened over the weekend. It was like letting me know how much that I didn't care, bro. I still don't care. And
Bro,
that comes
that's
from my, like I said, my mother, my aunts, and my grandmother. These women didn't care. It doesn't matter who you were. They're going to do what the hell they wanted to do. And that rubbed off me instantly.
that's awesome.
Instantly.
I think a lot of people focus too much of the outside noise. I for sure was one of those people. My Angie when I met Angie, she was the same, bro. She didn't care what anybody thought about anything. I learned a lot of things from her about not caring what people think. Like it's so important for people to understand that you dim your light. You give your power away when you think about what others are going to say about what you post or what you say or what you do. And for you to have this experience going to Boston and then they're bringing back things that you used to do and you're like, oh, wow, I definitely didn't give a fuck about what anybody had to say. It just goes to show, bro, it just goes to show you the type of, if you think about it, the type of vision you've put on people, not to care, right? I'm one of them to tell you that back then I saw that, and I can connect the backwards now that we're in this position that I can talk and say, bro, this is how Willie, this is how Willith was the whole time.
Yeah.
Like this is how he was the whole time, and I gotta give this man his flowers because he's one of the reasons why I am the way I am today, and not caring what people think. You get what I'm saying? And putting to action whatever I'm inspired to do in the moment, right? So that right there, for you to go to Boston to go visit a friend and these memories come back up, these stories, it's beautiful because it's like, holy shit, like that really was me. And still are, which is still great, right?
That's the fact.
So it's dope, man. It's dope. Shout out to your boy that just came out, man. I hope everything is going well with him and stuff like that. And
shout out to my brother Zay, man.
So, all right. So do you think that kind of freedom that you had, right? Is it something we're born with or something life tries to take away from us? Or it could be both.
What, to have that freedom?
Yes, like the freedom you had to not care what anybody thinks, right? That creativity, that energy, that I got this, the confidence, right? That's freedom. All of that is freedom if you think about it.
I think it's both, depending on the individual. Some people just got it. Luckily, I seem to be one of those people that just never, I don't get it twisted. I'm still human and I have my slight insecurity with certain things, but for the most part, like most part, I don't care. And I think some people gotta learn that, which is not wrong. Everybody gotta learn in their own time. I do think though, if anybody's listening, well, at least I try to remind people, you should get to some type of level of not caring about what people think. And I don't mean that in a rude, aggressive way where, for example, Raul, you invite me out to the bar, and when I get to the bar, I'm being loud and obnoxious and rude, and someone can say, "Oh, but who cares what people think?" We don't mean it in that sense.
No, not in that sense. Of course, you gotta make sure you know that you're around others and stuff like that.
Right. Respectful. But what I mean as do whatever makes you happy is you're not hurting yourself and you're not hurting anyone around you. If you want to wear white jeans, so be it. Who cares what Willie or Raul is gonna say? Are you wearing white jeans? Yo, that's corny.
Right. So you don't wear white when it rains outside.
Right. Like, bro, if you're not, like I said, you're not hurting nobody and you're not hurting yourself, man, by all means, man, like live your life, man. Live your life. We got this we're alive one time physically, man. And I don't think people want, I don't want to veer off, but it all ties into that. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that don't have that, I hope they get it fast, because there's a lot of people that I know, whether I talk to them or I don't, but I still care about them. And there's a lot of people that they still care about what people think. And it's a trap, man.
It is. It is. But and I'm gonna give you some perspective on that, right? Because you know me for years, and you've seen my growth, you've seen my change in the conversations that we have, where my mindset is at. But one thing I've learned, that if you feel some sort of way of what somebody's gonna say about you, you're only thinking about that yourself, about yourself. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That insecurity you may have, you got to ask yourself why you have that insecurity. Because it's just a projection you're putting out there. But at the end of the day, it's a mirror for you to understand,
Mm-hmm.
if I want to do this, but I'm not doing it because this person might say I look a certain way or I look like a fool. In reality, is that you're questioning that yourself from yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's not really the outside noise. We use that as an excuse. Our ego will create that we're saying is dumb to
Yep, it's
protect
really
us,
you.
but
You're
it's
the white
really you.
noise.
But it's really you.
Yep.
So I think it's important for people to like to hear that, to really understand, like, bro, you're only creating a projection of what you think of yourself. In two episodes ago, because I wrote these past 2 weeks, I've already recorded 3 different episodes. When a parent tries to control their kids, right? Is it that they are trying to control their kids, or is it that they don't trust how they raise their kids? You get what I'm saying? So
Perspective.
you get what I'm saying? So if you don't trust how you raised your kids, this is why the controlling part comes from your ego trying to make it safe. You're supposed to control your kids because you don't know what they're gonna do. No. If
Mm-hmm.
you trust how you raised your kids, you're gonna allow your kids to make the best decision for themselves and allow them to learn. Now, don't take this literal as in saying a 5-year-old is not gonna know what he's doing. That's not what I mean. Come on, like let's get our head right? But at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, I'm gonna have my oldest about to be 19, my middle is 16, and then my 5-year-old. My 5-year-old, obviously, we're there, support, guide, right? We don't control. My 16-year-old is at an age where she wants to go out. She wants to hang out. She wants to stay out late. See, Angie and I, trust how we raised her. She's going to make the best decisions for her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if there's a point where she has to learn something, we also allow her to learn something, because at the end of the day, there's always a consequence with what you do. And consequences don't always look like a negative.
Mm-mm.
Right? And it's the
That's
same
true.
with my oldest. We have to allow, if you trust yourself as a parent, you wouldn't control your kids. You're going to only support and unconditionally love. So the fact that you're stating that now, I bring that up because people don't understand that you're only projecting what you feel about yourself onto others to create this story that, you're not crazy for feeling that. But at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
it's how you feel about yourself.
Correct.
Period.
Correct.
Man, I could continue on that topic, man.
Yeah. You're
So,
preaching though, man.
all right, so let's talk about manhood and growth,
Mm.
right? I've seen you evolve through different seasons in your life, from dancing to the artist to the man you've become today. How has your definition of manhood changed throughout that process? And you could talk about, if you want to go into like certain relationships you learned that you had to change to be someone else, moves you had to change to be someone else. I know for sure there's one when we lost KRS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where that changed everybody's, right? Especially for you. You guys knew him since little. I met KRS in our teens, but I felt like I'd known the dude forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was also a pivot, right? So back to that question, I've seen you evolve through the seasons, from a dancer to artist to the man you've become today. How has your definition of manhood changed through that process?
I'll put it, 3 things always seems to have been pivotal in my growth as a man. And those 3 things happens to be death,
Mm-hmm.
heartbreak, and failure.
Mm.
those three things always seem to like almost like nudge me to go to a certain direction of growth that I didn't plan on going, if that
Mm,
makes sense. And there
yeah.
was always those type of three things, which, it's an ongoing thing. I will say that you kind of do get better. And when I mean like better, meaning like, you kind of accept the fact that these three things are like a part of life. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you
Right.
receive it a little bit better as opposed to years ago. Lost last year, I lost two friends in the span of a month. And these are like close individuals. So it still hurts, but you definitely kind of have like self tools on how to move forward, Of course, if you need to cry, let that shit out, but it's not the same process from when KRS died as opposed to like my two friends that passed away last year. Same pain is just a different mechanism on
Mm-hmm.
how to cope.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
as painful as it is, the new mechanism, it makes you move gradually better, you
Right.
know? And that's what the death, heartbreak, a lot of personal entails of
I
my
do.
love life.
I definitely
And
do.
and I'm still single, and
Hey, hey.
you know what I mean? Anybody out there, Angie's friends, it's an ongoing thing where you be like, man, I still can't get it right. But, you look like back and you go, well, my last heartbreak was, was tough, but I look back at that last relationship and I was like, man, that girl definitely got the best version of Willie ever. Cause she met me at a different, yeah, she met me as like a different Willie Caba.
Right.
At the end of the day, it didn't pan out to be what it was after like, close to a year, but it's all good. But I look back at that and I still be proud because I'm like, man, you did your thing. Well, like compared to how you was acting in other relationships,
Before that one, for sure.
right? You definitely moved a lot better. You know, you can't allow that to change me too much because um pain, rather heartbreak tends to do that at times. Like, oh snap, I was good or I felt like I was good. And now that happened, man, I'm gonna just act like this then. Nah, I'm gonna still stand firm because I can look back and be like, yeah, I was definitely better on how I communicated, how I treated her just as a man, how I made her feel protected, how I made her feel guarded, like
Yeah.
secure.
Yeah.
She had other I guess demons, I would say, that eventually she did a great job hiding it. And now knowing the whole truth and everything and how it went down, it was like, oh man. So, it was just one of those things, like it just happened. That's it. Like if I lived it again, Raul, it's probably gonna be the same outcome. Like I had a friend of mine that he was like, yo, you move too fast. So I was like, word? And he's like, yo, you don't get to know somebody really like in like 5 years. That's when you get to know somebody. And I go, oh, so that's the time frame to get to know somebody fully, 5 years. And then he goes, well, you know what I mean. I was like, no, stand firm on it. You
Right.
just said to get to know somebody fully is 5 years.
Right.
Is that
I
the term? That's not really the time frame. We don't know. So when I look back at it, I take this advice, this quote that my mother always say. It's in Spanish. So and it says, "Hijo, nadie se murió.
That's true.
Nadie se murió, hijo." That's it.
But did you die? Nobody died.
Nope, nobody died. So at the end of the day, I was just someone that was in love, and I trusted that woman because I was in love with her, and I was ready to build. But it didn't pan out. It is what it is. So, but you learn from that. I learned from heartbreak, and then failure. Yo, that's another big deal too. Like we fail in things that we put ourselves through personally. It could be, little thing that no one knows. You could be doing something in your own that is only for Raul to know, and you'd be like, ah, fuck, I'm messing up. Fuck, damn. Or I try to do this and it didn't work out or whatever. But you know what I learned from that is I was like, yo, Will, give yourself some grace, man. You know, you're so
You have to.
like, I gotta be right. No, that's wrong. Damn, Raul ordered a new T-shirt of mine, and he ordered a medium, and he got an extra small. My God, that's terrible. Yo, chill, Will. It's all good. Like you grabbed the wrong one. That's
Right.
it.
Right.
But so failure teaches, it's like lessons. But I like failing, to be honest. I like being like, oh shit, I was wrong. Like it's like a fun thing to me. I love to fail. I don't care what I'm doing right now. If it's like you, yo, Will, come in for a second. You know when you did this and did that, you know that was wrong. What you mean? You know, because you did it like that, you're never gonna do that and do that. Look, Pete, 1, 2, 3. Wow, like yeah, so I kind of caught that you were doing it wrong. That's exciting to me. I'll be like, snap. And who taught me? My friend. I'm good. So yeah, death, heartbreak, and failure, all of those things combined have definitely led me to a lot of growth as a man and as a person that I'm still learning. It's an ongoing thing.
Yes.
The first man that said, yeah, I'm good. I'm a man. Like I know what to do. You're the first idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like we're still learning, bro. Like
Right.
we're
100%.
still learning.
100%.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a lot to answer that question. But you know,
No, it's great. It's great. I think a lot of people in general, they try to perfect everything. And I remember Pitbull one time has said, you know, there's no failures, there's only lessons. And a lot of people take those things to heart when they fail. What they don't understand is that if you always winning, you don't really know what are you getting from always winning.
yeah,
You win much better when you fail at it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because it's a
yeah.
lesson in everything that you do, right? So I love that you share those three things, because those three things usually I guess push you to evolve into another version of yourself. And
Yes.
what I mean by that is, for me, the hardest thing I've ever dealt with was when my Angie asked me for divorce, separation, the first time in 2023. And I can tell you right now, confidently, that was the best thing that ever happened to me, because look who I am today because of that.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
get what I'm saying? And a lot of times, us men especially, we get stuck on what we failed on, or that someone passed away, or that, there was a heartbreak. And it's okay, because as a human, you get to feel those things. But when you look at it in a deeper sense, when someone passes away, their soul wanted to go out that way, regardless of how it happened. Their soul wanted to go out that way. And that may be deep for someone to hear this, right? But their soul wanted to go out the way they did. It has nothing to do with anybody. It has nothing to do with whatever condition they had, or if it was an accident. That doesn't play out that way. Their soul wanted to go out that way. When you understand that, you accept it, and you just basically honor the death of the person. When it comes
Mm-hmm.
to heartbreak, right, as humans, it's one of the biggest emotions we feel, that we turn into pain. But the reality is, if you accept it, you reflect on it, and you see what it has made you become, you forgive. And it's not about forgiving the person. It's about forgiving yourself, right? Peep this. If you're someone that hasn't forgiven someone, we had this conversation already. If
Mm-hmm.
you're someone that hasn't forgiven someone, the thoughts you think about the person, the way you talk about the person, the anxiety you built up, the hate, the grudge, you're feeling that, not the person you're thinking about or talking about. You get what I'm saying? That person is living their life. The other day, I just saw a video, bro. Crazy, and I'll send it to you after. This woman saw her abuser years later. Years. It happened to her when she was a teen. She saw her abuser when she was in her 50s, years later.
Okay.
And she went up to her abuser and she said, I forgive you. You know what her abuser said? For what?
Mm.
So who's been dealing with the hurt? Who's been dealing with the pain and the anxiety and the fear? Herself. Because she didn't
Mm-hmm.
forgive. She didn't let it go. This dude is living his best life. His
Wow.
best life, not thinking about that. So when you ask yourself, years have passed, Willie, years, and you still have a grudge, and I'm talking about in general, I'm just using Willie as because he's the person I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
You've been holding a grudge. You've been hating this person. You've been feeling this way about this person for years. That anxiety that builds up in you, you're doing it to yourself. You're choosing that. It's no
Yep.
longer the person.
Yep.
You're choosing that. So forgiving from a heartbreak is important for
Very
people to
true.
understand.
Very
Forgive.
true.
Forgive. You don't have to forget, but forgive. Release the person. Let them go so that you can continue to live on and move
Mm-hmm.
on. Because what happens is you closing doors for you to allow someone else that's meant to come into your life. Because what happens is if you don't forgive, guess what? You move into the next relationship, you repeat the same cycle again. It will happen again because you're not letting go of the other one. You're
Mm-hmm.
holding on to that, right?
That's powerful.
And you know, when it comes to where I talked about death and heartbreak, and you said failures. When
Yeah.
it comes to failures, man, I think that's one of the greatest lessons, the greatest things that can happen to people,
Mm-hmm.
especially entrepreneurs, right? Like yourself and me. One of the experience I had when I recorded episode 10 was that I didn't have this platform, so the audio was a little iffy. But I
Mm-hmm.
took that as a learning lesson. I was like, man, I was talking about in my stories of how excited I was that now I know what to do the next time.
Yep.
Now I know how to see it the next time. A lot of people just look at the loss. I failed. Damn,
Yep.
fuck. Like the fuck, man. Like, nah. You gotta move on, man. See that shit as a lesson. Don't repeat it again. That's
Yep.
it. You know? You mentioned earlier that you didn't have your biological father there. See what that has done, even in that, there's a beauty because that has taught you because you've been in somebody's life before where you were like basically raising a kid before. You were super
Mm-hmm.
close with a kid, right? That has taught you how to not be like a father and your qualities of being a father. You get what I'm saying? So
Yep.
you've learned the things from your stepdad that you would not do that your biological father never did for you. And a lot
Correct.
of people will hold on to that and be like, well, my father wasn't there, so who cares? Maybe I'll no, that's a lesson in itself to teach you not what to do, right? Not
Yep.
what to do from what your biological father. So, man, it's just a beautiful thing when you can understand life differently and you can see these things as lessons, as things that help you evolve, opposed to actually staying in the definition of what they mean, if that makes sense,
Yep. Yep.
right? But so thank you for sharing that. All right,
Absolutely.
so what's something you've learned about yourself through those transitions of what you shared, the wins, the losses, the silence? Like what have you learned? Well, you basically said, you know, you evolve, you grow. So you kind of like basically answered that. You did say that you learn from those things, you evolve as a man, etc. Okay. So let's talk about brotherhood and support. Right? You've been one of those brothers who seen me in all seasons, right? You've seen my separation with Angie to rebuilding to who I am now. How do you view brotherhood now that we're older?
Brotherhood is important, man. Men definitely need a community, even if it's just one person. You need someone of a brother like, or your actual brother, to just let all your guards down and just speak your mind with no judgment. That's
Mm,
needed, man.
mm,
Like, that's needed. Speaking for myself, I'm blessed to have an abundance of good gentlemen out there that I love and care about as friends, and more than half of them are like brothers to me, and vice versa. I have an abundance.
mm.
And I take that very serious because I know there's a lot of people that don't even have one, or they have one and would like to have more
More, right.
because sometimes that one person is busy. Me, I am lucky and blessed to have, bro, I have more than one. So as far as brotherhood at this age is important, man. Important because me, if as speaking for myself, yo, I have brothers that I could be like, yo, I gotta call him for this, or I'm going through something. I gotta talk to Raul about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It doesn't take away from all your other brothers, but it's like everybody is a master at different things. You
Right.
know?
You have your core mentors basically, let's just say. on
Right.
certain things in life.
Yep. So there's certain people that I'll just speak to that I want to do it really with this person or vice versa. And that's always been like my life. And it helps me, it helps me. It teaches me a lot, man. And I like to feel that I'm that brother to a lot of friends too, which
Yeah, for sure.
I've been like told. I would say, validated by them, and I like that, it feels good to me. Like, oh shit, my boy called me, he needed me. Or like, can you link up with me? I'm like, yeah, let's link or whatever, and plus, aside from that, I'm always that friend, like, yo, let's link, let's look at that
Let's meet
calendar
up.
and
Let's
lock in
meet
a
up.
date.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
meet up. Cause I always tell people, man, I had when you go to these funerals at times and you see friends that you haven't seen in a while, I always tell people, I be like, yo, all right, well, let's exchange phone numbers. Let's exchange our Instagram.
Right. Let's not let funerals be the reason why we meet up again.
Right. And I always try to remind them, I say, yo, bro, all we need is one link up a year. Oh, just one. So you're telling me in 365 days, you can't pick one? All we need is one.
Yeah.
Cause I get it. Our lives, we're not on the block no more, so we don't get to see each other. I get it. But one link up, whatever. Let's have a drink or do dinner or smoke a cigar, or maybe is I go to your house and you come to mine. Either or, one link up, laughs, photos, videos, reminisce, advice, you know, who knows what that convo goes. Either or, when we go back to our cocoon, we're gonna go and be like, yo, I had a good day. Felt good to see my brother Raul. God forbid, I'm just saying, God forbid some bullshit happen. At least y'all both have that for one another. Like, wow, I just seen him last year and it was so good
Right.
to see him.
Right.
Yo, we here now in the physical form.
I feel like we had that back in the days when I lived in the concourse and you used to come over and
Facts.
shit. Man, them shits used to be so much fun, bro. Like just there,
Therapeutic.
chilling, hanging out, smoking hookah, thinking about ideas and all that stuff, bro. Like I feel
Talking mad stuff.
like I'm talking about everything. We used to talk about everything. I feel like although I met you a little bit later than everybody else you knew, we had like a close connection, bro, like a
Facts.
super close connection, right? But I remember those days, bro, when you used to come to the concourse, like, yo, you home already? I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I have the hookah ready when you come upstairs, bro. It was just, it's
Yeah,
just
man.
to have a relationship like that, man. You know, it's like most people take it for granted,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And I feel like people just need to understand that when you have a relationship with someone like that and you're actually hanging out, be present, right? Because at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, when you show that you're present for that person, it will give that person and yourself a sense of understanding. Like, yo, you are someone very important in my life. Like, understand that. You get what I'm saying? And that's me telling you that right now. Like, Will, you are somebody important in my life. Like, I want you to know that. You get what I'm saying? So
Appreciate you, man. Likewise.
I would never take us hanging out for granted. Never. Like we gonna live it up, we gonna chill, we gonna hang out, we gonna talk about this, we gonna talk about that. And you best believe you'll feel my presence there. I'm not gonna be on
Mm-hmm.
my phone. I'm not gonna be like you gonna feel that. And that's where I'm at now, bro. I disconnect for the weekend. I'm with my family. I'm trying to be present. And you know, the phones and Instagram, all that shit could be a huge distraction. Right, but I've been doing it now. I think I just came into my 4th week this last weekend, and it's been great to disconnect on the weekend, bro. You know, I know that I have certain things that I promote, my business and this and that, but the weekend is for my family, and I've learned to be present for my family and not take it for
Mm-hmm.
granted. You know, before I say what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna ask you this question because you talked about something very important, which is the question I'm gonna ask you now, right? So, why do you think so many men struggle to express or receive support from other men?
I'll start by saying that I don't have the answer, but my answer comes from my experiences and from what I've seen and from what I've heard. You know what I'm saying? One, I'm gonna speak for me, of course, because you're asking me the question. So first, I am Latino. I'm Dominican. So in the culture of Dominican, it's a lot of machismo vibe.
Mhm.
We don't take soft anything, like in the sense of like, oh, you're too sensitive, you're too emotional. We take that like, yo, go get the body wire. We clown that and we destroy that immensely,
Yes.
quickly.
We
So
bully that.
that's right. So that's a strike on me, right? Aside from me being Latino, just to get deeper, I'm still a black man. I'm a black man, and if you want to get deeper, I did my own DNA shit. So I'm 48% Nigerian. So don't play with me. Nah, I don't play that. So that's that. All right. So we could put all of that into one. Number two, I come from around the way. I come from the hood. I was born and raised in the PJs. You know what I'm saying?
Environment.
The environment, all of that is like, oh, you saw your slap this. We're not playing that. It's all we can't. So that's a big strike. Number two, and then number three, I'm hip hop, and a lot of time in the hip hop culture is like, yo, we ain't doing that. Like, you
Tough.
sensitive, we tough, and all that. So in my experience, I'm not the only one with these three strikes. There's a lot of fellow men out there with the same strikes, and they feel
I'm one of them that felt
you're
that
one of
for a
them.
while. I
And
felt that for a while.
a lot of us know what that feels like, and sometimes we it's like we allow it to overpower ourselves because it's like second nature. It's all we know. So it's kind of like, oh, no, I ain't doing that. Nah, I ain't crying or I ain't asking for help. Nah, I'm good. Like there's a thing where it's like, I want to work at Chase Bank. Yo, Raul, he's a branch manager. Word, bro, he could probably get you a job like easily. Nah, I'm good.
Nah, I'm
Why?
good. I'll do my shit myself, man.
Nah, you know why? Why? Because I don't want Raul to be like, yeah, he got hit here because of me.
Right. I got him the
So,
job.
but if you stayed there because of you, so who cares? But nah, I'm good. I'm good. Nah, I don't need the help. And that's a bad thing, I've learned that it feels good to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, I learned that through junior high school and just like with thank God for the school system, I guess, when I was growing up. But shout out to all my like junior high school teachers, like Miss Torres, Mr. Showstead, Mr. Merchant, Mr.
Wow.
Wallach, all
Wow.
these, yeah, Miss Goldstein. Oh my God, love these they really took serious teamwork and they really opened that door. Like, if you don't understand, just ask for help. And I was quick with my hands up. And 3 years of that, by the time I got to high school, I was like, like this is second nature. I was already training for this. Oh, in school, I'm asking for help. And guess what? Outside of school, I'm acting the same way. Oh,
Yeah.
yo, Raul, how you do that? Oh, dope. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I took it upon myself with that because these adults kind of like let me know, like, yo, if you don't know something, just ask. And the logic behind that, to me, in my brain, I was like, this makes sense. Like, wait, hold on. Wait, so you telling me 2 plus 3 is not 4? I don't get it. How's it 5? Hey, you got 1, 2, 3, but 1, 2 is 5. See if you can. Oh, 5. So by asking for help, I got the answers. I'm gonna always ask for help. That's my logic to this day. If I need, yo, you move. I don't know if you announced that to the world, but you don't live around my vicinity anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I do want to move to where you're around.
Oh yeah.
Yo,
People know where I'm at.
okay. So if I want to move to where you at, how do I go about that? What the hell do I even start? Bro, I want to make that move. What's step number one? So what? Like, so what? Ask Raul. He knows. But we don't. That's a downfall for us men in
I
all sorts
agree.
of life.
I
A
agree.
big downfall. I remember 50 Cent said that the the kid sometimes it's not even about knowing the answers. That's how much powerful asking for help is. That even if you know the answer, you look like an idiot. Keep
Mm,
game.
mm.
When you're a student, what's 1 plus 1? Right? I'm all the way in the back. And I'm like, this 2. But I'm not raising my hand. But Raul, he's sitting in the front, eager. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Raul, what's the answer? 6. And I'm in the back like, oh, this kid is stupid. No, Raul, it's not 6. So what is this, 2? How? Because this is not. Oh, I got confused because this is that kid, Raul. He's going far in life, and he didn't even know the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in the back like he's a clown. I knew the answer all along, but I never raised my hand. What do you think I'm going in life? I'm not going far. I'm gonna always be that dude like, this guy's stupid, man. He don't know how to do that. He don't know how to drive. Oh, he's a fucking idiot. What? The dude failed his driving test 3 times, and you're like, it took him 3 times. But guess what, Raul? In a year and a half, he got a CDL license. Now he owns the truck and he's driving truck. Who's the winner?
Exactly.
So I'm like, yo, asking for help, it's like you gain for asking for help. You don't gain anything staying quiet.
And
Even if you know the answer.
and thinking you know it right too.
Nah. So yeah, man, like you gotta, it's such a downfall, man. When you think you know it and you don't want to ask for help, it's like, bro, wow, you get so much far in life just by asking for help. And even if somebody be like, I ain't helping you. Okay. Like, there's 8 billion people in this world.
Right. At least you asked, even if you didn't get it.
Like, you're telling me if you ask 10 people, they're all gonna say no? Okay, even if they do, so what? All right, go to 11. Like, big deal.
Number 11, right. Go to number
Big
11.
deal. You're gonna get somebody to be like, oh yeah, finally somebody help me. Good. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So if people is listening, please, if you're gonna take anything away from this episode, is stop getting in your own way. It's always you.
Word. 100%.
It's always you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Raul, I want to go out, but what happened? Yo, I'm downstairs. Come downstairs. Yo, come upstairs if you can. All right. Yo, what's going on? Yo, son, I don't know, man. These pants. You be like, what about the pants? I don't know, man. These pants look like kind of lame. Like, it's kind of too baggy. Who said it's lame? But the only person that said it was lame was
you. It's you.
Yo, bro, put your sneakers and let's get going.
Right.
So we stop ourselves a lot. We got to stop that.
Thank you for sharing that. The analogies that you use, perfect. Shout out to those teachers, man, because we didn't have teachers like that in our era going to school. So you got some great teachers in that era, bro.
IS 162, Lola de Theo Rodriguez Junior High School.
That's shout out to those teachers, bro.
Yes.
I'll say, see, from my experiences, just like yours, from my experiences is the reason why I created the community that I have.
Okay.
Is for men to feel safe, that they can be vulnerable, they will be challenged, they can be held accountable. As men, we need those things to evolve anyways. I can tell you, Will, to your face, bro, you lacking. But guess what? I'll be right there with you to face it. See, and that's something men don't have because they close themselves out. Like you said, I'm also Dominican. My dad raised me a certain way. My dad, hey, pa'lante. Can't be crying. That shit is weak, etc. And I broke out of that last year. And everything, and that's not to say my father raised me in a bad way. He wasn't being vicious. He wasn't being mad. It wasn't, no fue con malicia. He was also raised like that as well.
He did what he knew.
We are grateful, we should say, that we can change how we raise our kids. But that starts with us working on ourselves, right? My son sees my vulnerability as strength. My son sees if dad is crying because of something, it ain't because of something bad. It could be joy. It can be being present in the moment, and I'm just grateful about that. See, that none of that shows weakness. I'll go even deeper. Because of my vulnerability and how grounded I am in life right now, you can ask Angie if she's safe and she'll tell you yes. I'm not talking about surface level. I'm not talking about Raul paying the bills or we have a house over. No. I'm talking about inner. She can tell you she feels safe. There's a lot of people in relationships right now that don't feel safe. And I'm not talking about surface level again. I'm talking about deeper. Okay, and that stems from not using your voice, having walls up, not trusting, And I'm sharing this from experience because our relationship was like that. I never used to speak my mind or anything because I felt like Angie would have right away shut me out, let's say, right? Vice versa. I had a war of being this fake person that I'm from the hood and this is my persona, and that it made her feel safe to be
Mm-hmm.
honest with me, right? See, so we get to live now. It's different. It's beautiful. But a lot of men allow their environment, that machismo. I'm Dominican. This is how we were raised, Latino in general. Well, we can't show those things. And all you do is hurt yourself because you carry it. And you don't have a space, for you at least you have that, but there's a lot of people that don't.
Mm-hmm.
And in creating that space, from my experiences, it's what I have, the community of men that can be vulnerable, that can feel safe, that they know they're not going to be judged, that they know they're going to be held accountable, they know that they're going to be challenged. And it's all to just be the best version of yourself, period.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing else, right? But men men is just, they allow their upbringings, environment, and you have men out there that also bully that. Because I used to be like that. Oh, what the fuck is this dude doing crying? Like, what's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, bully, man, and that's not cool because we're just hurting ourselves. Men need to stand up for each other. That's it. Period.
Yep.
We need to support each other. Period. It don't matter what it
100.
is. We need to support each other. That's why I've always loved our relationship. You can send me something, I'm always gonna be honest with you, right? Honesty, that's me. My honesty is also showing you that I'm holding you accountable to your standard,
Yep.
right? Yo, Will, the song you sent me, bro, like I don't really like the melody of it. That's me holding you accountable because I know your standard. I know
Right.
you can do better, right? I'm challenging you to the best version of yourself and vice versa.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And a lot of men don't have it because they're closed off. They don't know how to be vulnerable in that space because they don't feel safe. Man, it's definitely needed for men for sure, 100%. And
Yep.
it's
That's
out
a
there.
fact.
It's out there, and I'm just blessed and grateful to have the idea of what I created. And I'm actually having my first call with the guys I have in my community tonight at 9. So I'm excited for that, man. So okay. All right, so creativity and purpose. Let's talk about your art, your music, your expression. What message are you trying to get across with what you're creating now? Now, I'll let you. Not everybody follows you, but I did see a post of something that you wrote that you got some heat coming out. You
Yes.
know, talk a little bit about where that expression comes from. Like, what's the message you're trying to get across to people with your creativity?
Jokingly and sarcastically, I was always say I'm gonna express what I'm feeling better in the song rather than talking. And the
Right.
song, it just comes out so well put together. So I'm like,
Well,
yo,
that's your art. That's your
right.
creativity.
So it's like sometimes it's like listen to the song and it's exactly how I feel. I know at times it may comes off cliche because it's like, well, I gotta listen to this guy rap or sing. But like you said, that's my creativity. That's my power. That's my world. That's how it's like my strongest suit on expressing. Doesn't mean that I'm not supposed to learn how to talk or converse. But if you really want to get a quick, I want to know how you feel, listen to the song. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
and that's what I feel we've always had because I'll listen to you, and I'll tell you, bro, I want to listen to it so I can tell you. I don't want to
Yes.
listen to it right now because I'm distracted. I want to listen
That's
to it.
been Raul since day one. This is
So I
day
get it.
one at the cubicle in 42nd Street. And it's
Damn.
like, yo, I'm gonna listen to it later. So that's like not even new. That's always been him. So, yeah, man, my art, the message that I try to convey with my art is my vulnerability and a lot of just my inner thoughts. I'll be honest, again, as an artist, it sounds, that's a good word.
I mean, you said it, cliche. It sounds cliche to
It's
say.
cliche, I don't want to sound
A
like,
broken record.
right. I don't want to sound like, for lack of a better term, conceited, but
Mhm.
like, no offense. If I'm dating a girl and she wants to get to like know me on certain things, she got to go listen to some of these songs. And if she don't, that's all good. I'm not going to force you because it sounds like listen to my songs. It sounds like an artist thing to say. But as far as my artistry, if you listen to a lot of these songs, you're gonna probably put two and two together or be like, "Word, you said this in that song. Do you still feel like that? I just thought that was interesting or whatever." And I'll be honest, that's happened to me like one time in my life, and that doesn't and go away from the wonderful woman that I've ended up being in serious relationship. Because clearly, that one girl, that's never been my girl. But I'm just saying, it was
I think I told you about it when it finally clicked too for me.
right. You know,
I
like
think I
when it clicks, it was only one girl. I was like, "Yo,
right.
I'm looking at some of your songs, you keep referencing this and you keep referencing that. Is that a person or what is that?" And I'd be like, joking, I'd be like, "Yo, chill, you're doing too much digging." And I'm like, nah, because I heard some of your music and I like it. And I'm like, well, hold on. There's certain thing that you repeat differently. And and that's cool because a lot of it, I always be like, yeah, I'd be exposing myself crazy on these songs. But that's
You
just
do.
that's just my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I love to do. I like to be creative. That's like
Creative, honest, and
I
authentic,
love
bro.
that. I love that because a lot of times someone's gonna relate. One of the greatest songwriters ever. His name is Smokey Robinson. He pretty much wrote everything from Motown back in the day. An incredible songwriter. I think he was the one, if I'm not mistaken, he's the one that wrote the song for the Jackson Five. I'll be there. I think he wrote that song. Crazy, phenomenal. And this guy, he was like, "Yo, people ask me sometimes, yo, you always talk about love and pain. Yo, switch it up." And he's like, "No, the world's gonna always feel that, man. Somebody's gonna relate. Somebody's gonna relate.
Music, music is therapeutic, bro.
That's it. It's painful or it's love and heartbreak and love, heartbreak again, and then love, love, love. But everyone's gonna relate. And that's what I'm about too. I'm like, yo, a lot of it is my own stories, but a lot of it, people be like, yo, I felt that, bro. I felt the same way. I felt the same way with that. I felt the same way with this. It's like, and that's gonna always be my thing. You know what I'm saying? There are certain things that I try to peel back just like from musically on certain topics. I'll be like, excuse me. I feel like, all right, I think that's redundant with this. Let me talk about this, or let me try to tap into this, or let me talk about the same thing but more creatively, so I try to challenge my writing skills. That's where I'm at now, as since we're talking about my music and my creativity through music. I'm just on that stratosphere where I'm just challenging myself to talk about certain things that I maybe have touched on, but I want to get just creative, a lot more creative with it,
Beautiful,
because there's
beautiful.
so many songs out there that I'd be like, they did a great job at like writing this and that in a metaphorical way. I've tried it for sure. There's some, but I want to do that more. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, talking about that, I believe you were the one who told me about Neo. I think because Neo was a songwriter before he came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I think you had told me, like, yo, listen to this song. And it was called The Time. I think it's The Time
Fire.
from his very first.
I know that's your favorite song from me. I
That's my
think.
favorite song, bro. That's my favorite song of all time for Neo. And you put me on to that. And I heard the same thing you just said. You being an artist, I'm not even an artist in the music industry, but listening to his song because of how you told me to focus on it, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, that song is fucking like fire. Like, listen to the
Yeah.
song and you're like, wow. It's from the instruments to the metaphors to the words to the lyrics to the rhythm to the everything, everything. And
Yeah.
he has sang that song a cappella. It's even crazier.
Yep. Incredible penmanship, man. Incredible
For
writing.
sure. For sure.
And I
Neo is
try to tap into
one of my
that.
favorite artists.
I try to tap
Yeah.
into that where I'm saying this and that, but I'm being metaphorically saying this and that as well. So it's like, oh, okay. I'm trying to tap into that world more.
I'm excited for that new project, bro. I'm excited for it. I'm
Yeah.
excited. All right. So if someone's listening right now, right? If someone's listening right now who's afraid to express themselves, afraid to be judged, what will you tell them?
I'm gonna ask, I want them to ask themselves whatever they think people are gonna judge them. Ask yourself what's gonna happen after they do. And if the answer doesn't stop your day to day, that's your answer, man. Because a lot of times it's like, damn, they're gonna say I look ugly. Okay, let's say they do say that you're ugly. What happens now? Are you not gonna go to work tomorrow? Or you're not gonna get paid? Or you're not gonna see your mom? Or you're not gonna still go out with your friends this weekend? Or you're not gonna go see Love Is Blind on Netflix? Or you're
Right.
not gonna see the movie that you wanted to see? Or you're not gonna go to happy hour tomorrow? Or you're not gonna like not call out still? Like, what changes? If the answer is like nothing changes, yo, let this all in your mind. And this and it sounds aggressive, but good. Like, yo,
The truth is aggressive by nature.
there we go. That's it, man. Look at your life and realize that you're not gonna be here for long. Yo, bro, we're not gonna be here for long. I don't understand how, and I get it. Everybody gonna learn in their own time. But while I have the mic and I'm talking, I'm gonna be persistent and super passionate about it. Yo, we're not here for long. I'm 38 years old. Realistically speaking, I got maybe 40 more years. I'm about to be 40 in 2 years. So I got 40 more years. You know what I'm saying? So what? 78, 80? Just on average. This is scientifically, like just scientifically data. I might be gone by 80. I got 40 more years left. 40, like 42. Like I'm trying to, like, I don't have time to not do what I don't want, to not be around people that I don't want to be. I don't have time for that.
Right.
Nah. Nah, you
Right.
got one. I don't understand how people don't put that in their mind. You got one life to live, bro. One. Tomorrow, snap of a finger, you could be gone, and that's it. Done. And you're gonna make it hard for those people that you left behind to talk about you between that little dash in between your birth
Mm,
year and your
mm.
death year. What the hell we gonna talk about? Yeah, this person was kind and sweet, and yeah, thanks for coming out and showing respect. That
Wow.
like, we he ain't
Wow.
do they ain't do shit. They ain't do shit. That's it. Like me and my shout out to my best friend Bobby. We always have the inside joke. I'd be like, yo, you got to keep adding to your life resume. You got to keep adding to your life resume. Yo, you about to go do this for what? So what? Adding it to my life resume. My boy's a comedian now, full blown. I think he's going in the third year. I'm sure somebody said, why? Yo, you just turned 40. Why are you going to be a comedian? Life resume. I'm just going to add it to the life resume. Adding it
Why
to the
not?
life resume.
Why not? Why not?
Why not? Just adding it. We got to keep adding to your life resume. Life is not all about working, going to sleep, but going back to work, spending money on pampering yourself and vacation and that's it. Like, you're not like, where are the outside goals? They're like, I don't care if it's like, yo, bro, I don't care if you be like, yo, but I got a friend, he's making straws. He's making straws out of plastic bags. Word? Yeah, man. That's his thing. I don't care what it
Fire.
is. Do
Fire.
something. There's
Do
so
something.
much. There's so much to do out here. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that I know that I might be listening to this that they're good at a lot of things, and I'm like, yo, push that, yo, because you never know where that can take you. You just never know. Like, never know. Like, I look at your life, Raul, and I'm like, yo, this guy went from here to way over there. I ain't see that shit coming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Nobody did.
I want people to understand that I used to meet up with Raul when he used to work on 42nd Street and Madison Avenue. His job gave him like a debit credit card for him to get, like, he could get lunch with that on the
For the
company.
Amex. Yeah, the
Right.
Amex.
And we used to he used to get lunch for him and me at some deli there. We used to sit up on the second floor and had lunch and just talk shit or whatever I may be going through or whatever he may be going through. And that was it. In my mind, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Like, this is the life. That's it. Like, and again, nothing wrong with that neither. Like, but that
Right,
was
right.
the life that I envisioned for my boy. And that's what Raul envisioned for himself too. Like, yo, I got a good job. I got to come to work looking dapper. So I'm here with my shoes and my button up. I got my office. I make decent, good money. I got my apartment. I'm good. I take the train straight to my apartment, straight to my block. I'm good. I'm cómodo. Estoy tranquilo. I'm good. And look at where the hell you at. You don't even live in the U.S. And you're doing a you're doing a podcast. That's like, oh, shit. Like, you don't know.
Which is number 2 in Apple and number 5 on Spotify.
Man, look at that. My man got the stats. Okay.
I watched it. I looked at it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta like, you're still young, dog. You're not even touching 45.
Yeah, I'm 40 now. So I'm still
40,
young for sure.
You're 40 and you can still play ball and bust ass.
And bust ass. Word.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you still young and fresh. Like, we're not out here moving slow. Bro, look at how much shit that you've done. Like, so if anyone is listening to this, the takeaway is, yo, stop giving a fuck about what people think. Who cares if you're in love with that guy? If that's who you want to be with that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't mention no names, but I had a friend that I really talked to, but that's my guy for years. And he was falling in love with a stripper chick. And he was very like,
I'm falling in
yeah,
love.
yeah. And he was like, damn, son, like, I'm embarrassed to tell people that me and her I'm in love with her. And I'm like, yo, my brother, if that's who you love, that's who you love.
Man, fucking love, bro.
That's it. I get it. She's a stripper, and so she's starting to feel like I don't want her to do that, but she's willing to stop if he takes it serious. Like, if he takes her serious, like, she's down for him. I'm like, yo, bro, who cares? That's it. That's a pass. Who cares? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, fall in love. She's gonna stop doing that for you.
The thing is that here's the thing when it comes to that, people just they hold on to what they judge them for. Like from what I've heard in like an article, most women that do stripping, they do it to pay off school debt and stuff like that, take care of their children. It's like, regardless of what people judge it to be, at the end of the day, they're doing something to provide for themselves. And like, what the fuck? Let it go. Doesn't matter.
Hey, listen, I know a lot of. I don't know no strippers, but I do know a couple bottle girls that they also get a bad rep. And listen, and they are great women. They're awesome women, super cool. I have good friendship with them. You know what I mean? I've hung out with them from time to time. Bro, good educated women, and they have a bad stigma at times because they're bottle girls, but they're doing it for good reasons, and they gotta do what they gotta do.
Who cares? And all that matters.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So again, man, the takeaway that I want people to take, yo, get out your own mind, because the only one saying all those things is yourself.
Is yourself, exactly.
And that's it. And don't forget that we only here for a short ride, man. It feels like it's a long ride only because of repetition. Tonight, you're going to go to sleep, and I'm going to go to sleep with the idea of, oh yeah, I'm waking up tomorrow. That is a gift. And you should be grateful that you woke up the next day. Don't be walking around here like, yeah, I'm going to go to sleep and wake up tomorrow like it's nothing. Like, yo, we're still blessed every day. Right. Yeah, we got that gratitude, like another day tomorrow. So, yeah, man, my fault. I got overly passionate about that. But
you good. You mentioned something that I was thinking about too from back in the days. I remember, so you said Bobby became a comedian. I remember someone that I know, close friend of mine that you got to meet through me, who wanted to become a comedian at one point. I remember us like, what the fuck you mean you want to be a comedian? And look at him, bro. My man is excelling. My man is doing tours. My man's Instagram blows up. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yo, shout out to my guy Lee.
Right. And I'm excited. I got some things with them coming up. But he is one of the people that I remember when he told us, like, yo, I'm looking into this and whatever. And I'm like, I remember that the conversation, for me, at least in my head, was like, a comedian really now? Like at this age? like now, and I'm super proud of that dude, man. That dude, that's my brother for life, and look, he's doing amazing things, bro. That dude is like crushing it right now in the
Yeah, yeah. I remember I went to see him perform live at a comedy show off of like Broadway in like maybe 80 something or 70 something.
hilarious, bro. The dude is fucking hilarious,
And
dog.
we went to eat Chipotle afterwards. I remember that.
Oh,
And we were
nice.
just chopping it up. Man, that was when he started and doing his thing. And I was so amazed, like, oh shit, like this was years ago. But
Yeah,
yeah, man, Lee always been official with it, man, and he's killing it. And he's a business owner. I know
mhm.
he has a grooming for men spot.
Hammers and nails, I think it's called
Right,
Hammers
in
Nails.
Jersey, so yeah, man.
It's a grooming thing for men.
Right, right. You know what I mean? I don't know when this episode's coming out, but if it's before November 2nd, yo, go hit up Bobby at his Instagram. It's at THE Brickstones with a S. He just had recently Tony Rock reposted his flyer. So,
Wow, fire,
like go support my mans in them. So
fire,
yeah,
fire.
man. Like I said, that's a living testament. You, Lee, Bobby, me, and everybody else, we could do whatever.
Do whatever you want,
You could
baby.
do whatever you want, baby. The world is a catalog. Just place your order, and that's it.
Word, I love that. I love that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about life and leadership.
Okay.
As you've grown as a man, what's been the hardest lesson or pivot you had to face?
Being independent on my own.
Ooh. That for men, not that is a hard thing to do, but us men want that so young, so early that we battle it with ourselves when we're not getting it when we want it so young and so early.
Cause we think, and when we're young, we think it's that easy. Yeah, right.
Right. Right. So talk about that.
Yeah, that I would say that because back in the ending of 2015, going into 2016, I moved out my parents' house, on bad terms. You know what I'm saying? It was a situation that we don't need to get into details, you know what I mean? But it was a bad situation going on at the time. And I dipped and I lived in a room. And that was like scary to me because I'm like, oh. And at the time, I had a girlfriend at the time. So that was more of a lot of an ego trip for me. Like, okay.
Oof, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. So there's no need to mention, yeah, no need to mention names. So shout out to her. I think we was both young at the time. I'm only saying this because you touched on like the male ego and trying to be independent. So I was forced to be independent by choice, but it was like a choice that I had to do. I was like, I can't stay here no more. So I had to
You had
dip
to.
and yeah,
It
I
was
had to.
meant to be that way
It was
anyways.
meant to be that way. And I had to live in a room. And a lot of my ego was like, oof. I had a job at the time, so I was kind of like, yeah, I got it. Um, but I wasn't really managing my money properly. And then, like I said, I was in a relationship and it didn't last. Like it really was hanging by a thread and it didn't, unfortunately at that time, it didn't stand the test of time, I would say. And I just
Mhm.
feel like we were just both young, I think just as much as I was looking at my ego, I think she was looking at my ego too. Like, yeah, what are you going to do? But I don't even blame her for that. We just young. But as far as me, yeah, I was like, yo, I gotta do this correct. And I was failing like crazy. Yeah, I remember I was doing because at the time I was working as a contractor as a anti-money laundry officer
Mm.
and for Chase Bank, which was JP Morgan rather at Brooklyn Tech. Yeah, and it was a contract job. So I had a job for like 6 months. And after that, you got to try to get another job for another contract. And sometimes they don't come as easy. So I try to save up to my best ability. And I got and then I went on unemployment and I'm still living in a room because I had to pay it weekly. And I was paying 175 a week for that room. And that money that my little stash that ran out and I'm getting unemployment. My unemployment was 225. Do the math. weekly,
Mm-hmm.
225, and I had to pay 175 just so I can have a roof in my head. So I was
And you still
trying to
got to eat.
do,
You still got to
yeah,
eat. You got a girlfriend. You still got this. You got that.
but no, by that time, that's it. I didn't have no girlfriend. No, I'm
Okay,
losing.
John.
I'm losing it, and I'm like, bad. And I remember, uh, I was doing focus groups to get a debit card for like 300. I remember. And I remember, yo, I can remember this. I can remember this like it was yesterday, bro. I did a focus group and they was telling me, yeah, you get 600. So in my mind, I didn't ask questions. I was like, perfect. I'll do this folk. And it was about spirits and wine and shit like that. And I was like, I got to be here for 4 hours. Perfect. Let me get this 600. Boom. I'll take care of 2 weeks of my room and the rest is for me or whatever. Bro, they gave me that shit in a debit and there was nothing I can do. I couldn't withdraw the money. It was just here. So in my mind, I called Bobby and I called my boy Cedric and I was like, yo, guys, I'm gonna go to this lounge and around 42nd Street, meet me there. And drinks all on me. Fuck it. I was like,
And
yeah,
you
I'm
got
gonna splurge
600.
this.
You have 600 of spurs.
Yo, I swear, I look back at that, I'm like, what I was thinking. I didn't
But let me tell you, 600 went a long way back then.
yeah, yeah,
600 right now. 600 right now is buying 2 things in the supermarket.
it's nothing, bro. 2 toilet paper, that's it. Yo, I was buying drinks for everybody. I was buying drinks for girls that was nearby. Like, you want a drink? I got you. Because it wasn't like it wasn't like a bottle type of environment. It was like a bar. So I was like, I got you. I'll buy a drink. I remember I spent like $400 there. Like, I got the debit. Boom, swipe it. So crazy, but yeah, man, being independent. Yeah, that's what really taught me a lot about being a man and whatnot. That was the question, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, here you are today, bro. It's like, can't
Yeah.
look back at it like it was a bad experience. You learned from all those experiences you had since then.
Bro, I I live in Jersey now. Hopefully, whenever you make it to NY or on this side, you got to come and visit. I have a
Oh, yeah, for
balcony.
sure. For
I have
sure,
a
for sure.
balcony in my apartment, bro. I am
My
the
man loves that
happiest.
balcony. My man loves that balcony because I remember when he first told me he got his own place, he was like, yo, I got a balcony. Like, did you hear me? I got a balcony.
I got a
Get the
balcony.
bathroom, fuck the room, fuck the kitchen. I got a balcony.
Yo, Raul, do you know how to spell balcony? BAL. Yo, bro. Nah, man. Yo, it's so bad that when I went to Boston this weekend, I was planning on staying at a hotel, bro. By the time it struck like 12:30 after midnight, I was like, I'm only 3 hours away from home. I'm out of here.
I'm going to my
I left.
balcony.
They were like, yo, Will, you leaving? Yeah. Right now? Yeah. I'm out. I love y'all, man. I'm gonna tell y'all when I get home, bro. I took that
Hey,
drive.
Will. My man said, I'm going to my balcony. Fuck that. I'm 3 hours away.
I'm going to my balcony, man. So I'm blessed and grateful, man. Everything is part of the story.
Awesome. Love to hear that, man. I'm happy for you, bro. Genuinely happy for you, man. All right. So, what keeps you grounded today, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally?
My mother being older, that keeps me grounded. Yeah. I
Shout
think
out to mom. Shout out to mom, Dukes.
yeah, I'm very close to my mother and seeing her get older keeps me very grounded because I can't stop that and I don't want to, but that reality is still very predominant in my reality. And I'll be like,
Mm,
damn, I'm getting older. So I
mm.
try to spend time with her a lot whenever I can and do things that she want to do because she's getting older and that keeps me very grounded. And I'll stop there because I don't want to get emotional.
No, I get it. I mean, cry it out, bro. But I
I
get it.
know.
That's how I
Right.
feel. That's how I feel with my family. And like I told you, I'm present with them when I disconnect. That keeps me grounded. Being present with my family, watching them grow older, seeing the things, seeing how they change, seeing how they evolve. Because, here where I live at Dominican Republic, it's just me and my immediate family. Like,
Mm-hmm.
of course, I have my relationship with my moms and I talk to my moms and my dad. But when it comes to relating to what you just said, seeing your mom getting older grounds you. Me watching my kids and seeing how my kids are flourishing and seeing what Angie's creating for herself as well and what we're creating as a unity. it definitely grounds you. But I want to share that it takes a lot of work for you to be in that state. It takes a lot of work. So be proud of that you can actually say this is what grounds, because not too many people know the answer to that. Many people know the answer to that, man, because they're not aware, they're not conscious, they're thinking about everything outside themselves. So be proud of that awareness you got, my brother, that you know what keeps you grounded. That's awesome.
Amen.
That's awesome. All right, so we got the signature question. Before we close out, what does brotherhood mean to you?
To me, laughter.
Okay,
That's what that means to me.
I kind of knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, to me, that's what brotherhood means. Laughter, man. Laughter, it trickles down to a whole bunch of other things, but it starts with laughter. I thrive off that when I'm with the homies and we got jokes, inside jokes.
Well, even with us, when we're talking, it's always laughing. It's always laughing.
I think that, laughing adds minutes to your soul to live longer. Laughing, that's what brotherhood means to me.
Oof,
you know what I mean? I love that, man. Especially when you be like, "Oh, I'm at the link up with such and such." Oh, I already know, and we just there laughing about, remember, you're fucking crazy.
We've actually had those experiences when we used to go to that hookah bar on 34th Street, I think it was. Remember?
Yeah. Facts.
We had great times there, bro.
Like even down. Remember when I did the listening party and I was talking about a girl that I wrote a song about? All you hear in the background is Raul. You were like,
yeah, I remember that. Otra vez.
Yeah, I was talking about one girl, and then another song came out.
Suelta, vaina.
This song is about the same girl. You hear Raul in the back like, Otra vez.
I remember that.
You know what I mean?
That was fun, though.
Fun stuff, man.
That was fun. That was fun, and that was also dope to see, because I think that's the first time I saw you like perform in front of people, other people.
You saw me in my element.
Your circle. So it was dope to see you in that element, bro. It was.
Yeah. So that's the answer to your question, man. Brotherhood to me means laughter, man.
I love that. All right, so I always have a listener's challenge every episode that I do, and for this week is I want to challenge every man listening. Think about the version of you that was the most free. Before opinions, before fear, before you shared worrying about what others would think. Ask yourself, what did that version of me love doing? Then go do it. Because freedom isn't something you find, it's something you remember. So that's the listening question for the audience. Besides that, my brother, Will, an honor to have you on my podcast. Thank you so much, my brother. All love and respect. You know that I love you so much.
Come on, man. You know I love you too, bro.
I can't wait for your project. I can't wait till we link up. I have plans on going to the States next year. So I know that one of the stops I'm going to do is to link up with you. I thank you. And I don't know if you want to share something else before I close out.
I'm going to say, whatever makes you happy, keep doing it. And disregard what anybody got to say about it. Chances are they're not part of the journey.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. All right, fam. As always, thank you for locking in with us today. And remember, come for the truth, stay for the brotherhood. I finally made it this far and I'm not looking